Imagine escaping a high-security French prison. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, and each time by helicopter. This isn't a movie. This is the true story of Pascal Payet, the man who drove the French police insane. He was a master of the impossible, a ghost in the system who treated maximum security prisons like temporary inconveniences. His name became synonymous with audacity, with daring escapes that left an entire nation speechless and its authorities scrambling. How did one man manage to pull off such incredible feats, turning prison yards into his personal helipads? Today, we're diving deep into the life of the most notorious escape artist in modern French history. This is the story of a criminal who didn't just break the law. He broke the very walls built to contain him. Pascal Payet was born in Montpellier, France in 1963, but his story really begins in the rough-and-tumble streets of Lyon and Marseille. From a young age, he seemed destined for a life outside the lines. Petty crimes quickly escalated. He wasn't just a troubled youth. He was a natural leader, charismatic and intelligent, but he channeled those skills into the criminal underworld. He started with minor assaults and thefts, but soon graduated to more serious offenses. Armed robbery became his specialty, and he was good at it. He formed a dangerous gang, known for their meticulous planning and ruthless execution. They weren't just common thugs. They were a professional outfit. In 1997, their criminal career took a fatal turn. Payet's crew targeted a Banque de France money transport truck in Salon de Provence. The robbery was violent, chaotic, and it went wrong. During the heist, a guard was killed. That single act sealed his fate. When he was finally arrested, the judge threw the book at him. 30 years. A life sentence, effectively. For most, this would be the end of the story. But for Pascal Payet, being locked behind bars was just the beginning of his legend. In 2001, while locked up in Luynes prison near Marseille, a place designed to be escape-proof, Payet did the impossible. He had been planning, observing, and waiting. On October 12th, he put his audacious plan into action. A stolen helicopter, hijacked by his accomplices on the outside, suddenly appeared over the prison. It didn't just hover, it descended directly into the prison yard during the exercise period. Chaos erupted. Guards were caught completely off guard, thinking it was a police operation or something entirely different. Before they could even process what was happening, the helicopter landed, Payet sprinted across the yard, climbed aboard, and the aircraft lifted off. The entire operation took less than 5 minutes. The guards couldn't even react in time to fire their weapons. France was absolutely stunned. It was a brazen, Hollywood-style escape that defied belief. Payet was a free man, leaving the authorities red-faced and sparking a massive nationwide manhunt. The legend of the helicopter man had begun. But Payet didn't just flee for his own freedom. He was fiercely loyal to his crew. While on the run, he wasn't just hiding out and enjoying his liberty. He was plotting. He knew his friends were still inside Luynes, and he felt a responsibility to get them out. 2 years later, in April 2003, he organized another helicopter mission. This time, he wasn't the passenger. He was the mastermind on the outside. He arranged for another hijacked chopper to swoop down into the very same prison yard he had escaped from. His goal was to break out 3 of his accomplices from the deadly armored car robbery. The helicopter descended, and his friends rushed to board it, creating pure chaos once again. It was an unbelievable repeat performance. The police, who were already hunting him relentlessly, were completely humiliated. They started calling him Le Roi de la Belle, or the King of the Escape, and the Ghost of the Skies. He wasn't just a criminal anymore. He was a folk hero to some, a phantom who could strike from above at will. Of course, a life on the run can't last forever, especially when you're taunting the entire French state. After years of being one of the most wanted men in the country, his luck finally ran out. He was caught in 2005. The authorities were determined not to be embarrassed again. They classified him as a détenu particulièrement signalé, a high-risk inmate requiring special surveillance. He was placed in solitary confinement, a box designed to break a person's spirit. But they knew that wasn't enough. Their biggest fear was him planning another escape. So they came up with a new strategy: constant, unpredictable movement. He was moved from one maximum security prison to another every 3 to 6 months. The idea was to disorient him, to prevent him from learning the prison's layout, studying the guards' routines, or establishing contact with anyone who could help him. For 2 years, this seemed to work, but they underestimated Pascal Payet. Again. All that time, isolated in his cell, his mind was still working, still planning. On July 14, 2007, France was celebrating Bastille Day, its national holiday. The skies were filled with fireworks, and the nation was in a festive mood. This was the perfect cover. That evening, 4 heavily armed, masked men hijacked a helicopter from Cannes. They forced the pilot to fly to Grasse Prison, where Payet was being held. This time, they didn't even bother with the prison yard. The helicopter flew directly to the roof of the prison, a place believed to be completely secure. The armed men used power tools to break through the doors leading to the isolation block, located Payet in his cell, and grabbed him. They rushed him back to the roof, bundled him into the helicopter, and vanished into the twilight sky. The entire escape, from landing to takeoff, lasted less than 10 minutes. It was a perfectly executed military-style operation. It was a national embarrassment for France, happening on their most patriotic day. The message was clear: no prison could hold Pascal Payet. The French government launched one of the largest manhunts in its history. Interpol was alerted, and his face was plastered across Europe. Payet was once again a phantom, but this time the pressure was immense. He fled south, crossing the border into Spain, hoping to disappear in a country where he was less known. For 2 months, he remained on the run, moving between safe houses. But the net was tightening. On September 21, 2007, acting on a tip, Spanish police located him in the small coastal town of Mataró, just north of Barcelona. They surrounded the apartment building where he was hiding with his accomplices. This time, there was no dramatic getaway. There were no helicopters, no daring sprints across rooftops. There was just the quiet, grim reality of armed police kicking down a door. He was captured without a fight. The footage of his arrest shows a much different man, no longer the triumphant escapee, but a cornered fugitive. His incredible run was over. For Pascal Payet, there would be no more helicopters, just silence and steel bars. Back in French custody, the justice system was ready to make an example of him. He was already serving a 30-year sentence for the fatal robbery. For his spectacular escapes, he faced new charges. The court found him guilty of masterminding the 2007 escape and added another 15 years to his sentence. He was also convicted for organizing the 2003 breakout, adding even more time. In total, his sentences ensured he would likely spend the rest of his life in prison. He became a symbol of rebellion, a testament to meticulous planning and sheer defiance. His story continues to fascinate criminologists and the public alike. Even today, people debate his legacy. Was he a cold-blooded criminal responsible for a man's death? Or was he a strategic genius, a modern-day Robin Hood of the prison system? The truth, as always, is probably somewhere in the middle, but his actions forced the French prison system to completely rethink its security, especially concerning aerial threats. He single-handedly changed the game. Helicopter escapes sound like pure movie fiction, something you'd see in a James Bond or Mission Impossible film. But Pascal Payet proved that with enough audacity, planning, and resources, it could be very real. He outsmarted some of the most secure facilities in Europe not once, but 3 times. His story is a chilling reminder that the human desire for freedom can be a powerful, almost unstoppable force. It shows that even the strongest steel walls and the most vigilant watchtowers can be overcome by a determined mind. Payet is now held in one of France's most secure locations, under conditions that make another escape virtually impossible. His flight days are over, but his legend as the king of the escape lives on. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unbelievable true crime stories.